And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, May 25th edition. Got 13 games on tap for you on this Tuesday. Going to be a doozy. Hope everybody had a good Monday on that 6-game slate. It was a fun one. Nailed some of the pitching, some of the hitting, had a couple of hiccups here and there, seeing some good green screens in the Slack chat, all kinds of fun stuff. So come check it out there. Free Fantasy DJ in Slack chat if you'd like to come join us there. If not, no worries. I'm on Twitter at BDentric. If you have any other questions, hit me up on those regards. Also, if you give a rate and review on iTunes for MLB DFS Quick Hits, it would help out a ton. It's the only way to kind of move up and down the charts and get more people to see this wonderful podcast. So check that out. And if you prefer to watch the video on YouTube, I'm streaming live, and you can like, share, and subscribe to the RotoBaller YouTube channel. All the good stuff there. All right, everybody, 13 games on tap for you. We'll get you in and get you out quickly as usual. Totals on the slate: Reds, Nationals, 7.5, Jays, Yankees, 9, Braves, Red Sox, 9.5, Indians, Tigers, 9, Rockies, Mets, 6.5. That's gone down a half a run in the last half an hour. Royals, Rays, 8.5, Orioles, Twins, 9, Padres, Brewers, 7, Dodgers, Astros, 8, Cardinals, White Sox, 8, Rangers, Angels, 8.5, Mariners, A's, 8.5. Still waiting on a couple other totals as there's some new pitchers, whatnot, and so forth as we get cracking on this slate. Pitching is loaded, and you really don't have to pay up if you don't want to. Like, there's Jacob deGrom coming back from the IL, 11-8 versus Colorado. Great pick. If you want to use him, go for it. I'm not sure if he's going to be fully stretched out. You'd imagine he is if he's coming back. He only threw to 10 batters, I believe, 3 innings in his rehab start, so he didn't go like a full go, but I'm assuming that means they're still thinking he's good to go, and they're bringing him back. So if you want to roll with it, sure. Just realize there is some risk they might not let him go full go, and 11-8 is a steep price tag. You have Scherzer at 10-7 against Cincinnati. Scherzer's got the highest ceiling potentially on a slate outside of Jacob deGrom, a healthy Jacob deGrom. But Scherzer's also, volatile at times, and at the price point, there is some risk. So if you want to go Scherzer, sure. I'm not going to tell you not to. But now it gets a little more interesting. You got Joe Musgrove at $9,500. So we're saving $1,200 off of Scherzer. We're saving $2,300 off of deGrom. Joe Musgrove, $9,500 at the Milwaukee Brewers. Now things get real. You got a Milwaukee Brewers team in the month of May that in general has been struggling. But the month of May, as a team we can target early and often, a team that is striking out. Oh, come on already. I clicked the wrong button. This is what happens when you get ahead of yourself here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. We want this one. We want that one. There we go. The Milwaukee Brewers is striking out nearly 27% of the time for his right-handed pitching in the month of May. So if you want to go to a guy like Joe Musgrove, you can at 95. Just realize he's been volatile. He's coming off a gym against Colorado, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned, 11 Ks for 40 points. That's great. We've seen him throw a no-hitter. We've also seen him give up 4 and 5 runs in back-to-back starts. It's a complete up-and-down circus with Joe Musgrove. I think he's a great play at $9,500. There's other plays as well that I might like a little more, but don't sleep on Musgrove. A phenomenal play at 95. Opposite Musgrove in the San Diego-Milwaukee matchup is the one Corbin Burns, who has just been electric. 25-7, 23-7, 16-5, 34, 36, 30, 20, 33. He's averaging 28.6 points per game this year DK-wise. He has a sub-2 ERA. He has like a 15K per 9. He's walked 0.45 per 9 because he has 2 walks on the entire season, both in his last 2 starts. He has 9 Ks in 3 straight starts. He has 9 or more Ks in every start this season. I don't know what else you want me to say about Corbin Burns besides the fact, oh no, he's facing the San Diego Padres. We can't do that. I don't care. San Diego's good. Woodruff looked great. Woodruff didn't get a ton of strikeouts. He had 5 or 6 Ks, which is good. Burns has better strikeout stuff. I like Woodruff a ton. I think he's a great pitcher, but let's just be real about this one. Burns is an electric factory. San Diego is striking out 20% of the time versus right-handed pitching. With a 105 WRC plus in the month of, they didn't narrow it down for me. The month of May, let's narrow it down for them. In the month of May here, you have San Diego striking out about 20% of the time with a 118 WRC plus. They're starting to get healthy. So it's risky with Burns at $9,100. At the same time, the upside is tremendous. I think Burns is a very, very good GPP play against San Diego. We saw what Woodruff did today. Very much in play as well for to get it going on this slate. Okay, let's move on down here. Now it gets fun, and now it's gonna be fun to watch the ownership when it comes out throughout Tuesday. Midday usually a run comes out, then a little closer to lock, you get another run. Lucas Giolito, $8,700 at home against the St. Louis Cardinals. This is a fun one because we finally saw Lucas back to Lucas. His last time out, 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned on a solo homer, 11 Ks, 39 points at Minnesota. Everything was looking like the Gio of old. It was great. He struggled against Kansas City. Twice in a row. One time he gave up 5 runs, struck out 7. The other time, gave 1 and only struck out 2. So that's not going to help. He needs to get the strikeouts. Outside of that, though, 8 Ks, 7 Ks. Even when he's been scuffling, the strikeouts have been there for Giolito. At $8,700, I think he's very, very much worth the chance in this one. You have a White Sox team that's kind of hitting to keep him in it. It is a tough matchup against Flaherty, good buddies of Giolito. So you have that going for you, but a St. Louis offense that you can't exploit. We saw Lance Lynn look really, really good on Monday night. They strike out about 20% of the time versus right-handed pitching with a 93 WRC plus, hitting 239 in the month of May. So it's not like they're dog poop, but at the same time, Giolito, if he is the ace that you're hoping he can be, that's outstanding. So I think Giolito's at $8,700. It's that GIF on Twitter, like that's bait pointing up. The price tag looks way too good, but it's going to be hard for me to stay away from getting some Giolito. Like, do I go all in? Probably not. But I do want some at $8,700 just because he should be priced up at least in the mid-9s. Or at least put him with Flaherty at 93. Show some respect to Giolito. So I think at 87, he's in play. Aaron Savali at 83 at the Detroit Tigers. Now, if we want to get away from these kind of tougher matchups, you got Savali against a team you can pick on. Savali's coming off a gym against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And now he gets the Detroit Tigers team striking out 26% of the time versus right-handed pitching. 109 WRC plus 267 average in the month of May. First righty, so Savali at 83, like him quite a bit. He's kind of a little safer than the ones we've seen, but you can definitely go that route. One of my favorite tournament plays. Let me clarify that. Tournament plays. Clayton Kershaw's $8,000 at the Houston Astros. Kershaw's been very, very consistent. Quality start machine. 2 straight quality starts, only with 5 innings, 5 shutout innings. His last 2 starts, 6 innings, 2 earned, 6 innings, 5 earned, 8 Ks, 11 Ks. He's put up over 20 DK points in 3 straight starts. Really like what he's got going for him. Facing a Houston team that's tricky. Let's not sugarcoat this one and say it's a cakewalk situation here for the old Kershaw. But it is a Houston team that you can't take advantage of from time to time. There's no hiding that either. It's a Houston team that doesn't strike out a ton. It's getting a loaded offense. I'm trying to justify the whole idea of Clayton Kershaw in this one, but it's not working out to my likings, except $8,000 in a tournament. If I can get 25 to 30 points from Kershaw at virtually no ownership, I am all aboard that train. Now we have a Houston Astros team now that they think finally loaded. See, they're only striking out 16% of the time versus lefties in the month of May. Not good. Hitting 303 with a 180 ISO and a 139 WRC plus. Very potent offense. You know what that spells to me? Virtually no ownership. And that sounds outstanding to get a former Cy Young winner in I'm not going to say full-on rivalry game, but should be a lot of emotions in this game against the Houston Astros at $8,000. Color me intrigued. But my favorite point per dollar pitcher on this slate, and he's going to be the chalk of the chalk, and I'm going to eat all of it. Kevin Gossman at $7,200 at the Arizona Diamondbacks is ridiculous. He has 21 or more DK points in 6 straight starts. He scored 20 or more DK points in 8 of 9 starts this season. 1.66 ERA. He has 6 or more Ks in all but 2 starts this year. He has 5 or more Ks in every start. He's facing an Arizona Diamondbacks offense that in the month of May strikes out 24% of the time versus right-handed pitching and has an 81 WRC plus. Yes, they got Carson Kelly back. Yes, Ketel Marte's come back. Maybe things are picking up a little bit in the desert. But as a whole, dreadful offense, very good pitcher. There's no reason on God's green earth Kevin Gossman should be $7,200. At least on FanDuel, he's like 10K. That's reasonable. That makes sense. DK dropped the ball big time on this one. So Gossman at 72. I'm going to be all in on that one. If it busts, so be it. A couple punts you can look at. Cole Irvin versus Seattle. Very much in play to keep targeting Seattle if you so choose. Don't mind that one at all. You could do Tariq Skubal versus Cleveland. I'd rather go Cole Irvin if I had to choose between the two, but I don't think you got to go cheaper than Kevin Gossman because you can match Gossman up with Kershaw. You can match him up with Savali. You can match him up with Giolito. Those all work fine. You have Burns. You have Musgrove. You can stay out of the 10K range, and you don't have to go below $7,200. Like, there's lots of ways to build pitching on this slate without breaking the bank or just complete punting it. Like, Gossman at 72 should be as low as you need to go unless you're getting really, really weird. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the Slack chat. I'll help you out on that one. But that's the pitching on this slate. Let's get to the bats on this loaded 13-game slate. Starting at catcher's position for you. One of my favorite catchers tonight is Buster Posey at $4,500 coming off the off day. Gets Corbin Martin, a guy that gave him some hard contact in his first debut. And Posey's contact numbers are through the roof right now. So keep riding MVP Posey out there right now at $4,500. You could go Gary Sanchez in a tournament versus Mats at 46 if you look for that home run. It's in play. I try to look for the home run at different positions, but Sanchez is a guy that at least checks the box if you want to go there. I'd rather have Posey in that same price range. If you're saving some cash here, you can go down to guys like Mike Zunino against Brad Keller at 37 in tournaments. We know how I feel about Zunino going for the home run call. James McCann at 3,400. He went deep on Monday, gets Freeland, a lefty tonight. You can take a look at him. Eric Haas is there. We like him as a punt play pretty much nightly at these points. And then other than that, there's nothing that really runs. Like Jose Trevino maybe gets Heaney at 26, Jake Rogers versus Savali at 25 if you want to go at a couple of those. But I'm really liking just paying up for Posey potentially on this slate unless something changes. First base position, Vladito, 2 bombs on Monday. He's got 15 on the season. I am on the full fade Corey Kluber train tonight. So if you want to come aboard, there's plenty of seats because I feel he's going to be chalky after that no-no plus all the Yankees love. Toronto's on fire. Kluber is not as good as people think he is. He's his best 2 outings are against Detroit and Texas. I rest my case. So Vladito at 55. Let's rock. If you want to fade Barrios, Trey Mancini at 53 is worth a look. Not running to fade Barrios, but he's there. If you're fading Kershaw, though, Gurriel at 51 is very good because Gurriel loves hitting his lefties. So he's worth the look. But I want to pay it for Vladito if I'm paying up at all. Or go to a Max Muncy at 49 because I love fading Zach Greinke as well because he is a fraud. So you can go those 2 ways if you're paying up at the position. Now, if you want to save some cash, you got Logan Gilbert in that Seattle bullpen. Gilbert, prospect pedigree is great, but it's been very, very rough for him so far. So Olsen at 46 could be in play for you. Brandon Belt, he's supposed to be getting activated, but still up in the air. So I don't know what they're doing with him. I really don't. He should have been on the IL a long time ago. They're just kind of toying around. If Belt is active, $4,300 against Martin is very much in play. But at the same price point, you got Miguel Sano, who's hitting every home run under the sun right now, going up against Dean Kramer. Dean Kramer, he gives up 2.5 home runs per 9 to right-handed hitters and 3.2 to left-handed hitters. So the Minnesota Twins are super, super live in this game. Plus, it looks like if the wind's going to be blown to center field about 14 miles an hour in Minnesota. So Miguel Sano at 43 is outstanding, and so is Alex Kirilloff at 4,000. He is outfield first base eligible. So when you get your twin stack on, you got a little Miguel Sano, a little Alex Kirilloff, a little shake and bake. Everybody has a good time. So keep those in mind when you're stacking that up. A few others. If Belt's out of the lineup, Darren Ruff's $3,900 for the Giants. I'm a big Giants stack fan tonight as well. Ty France is back from the alley. He had a double on Monday. He's 34 if you're looking to punt. Other than that, there wasn't a ton of punts I like down there. Maybe Nate Lowe at 32 if you're going full Texas stack, but I'm not really running to do a full Texas stack either. Keston Harris, 3K. The other value I do like, those Danny Santana at first base outfield. Atlanta-Boston is a game stack situation between Morton and Richards. Santana, he's put up decent performances in his first 3 games for the Red Sox. He's $2,600. He's first base outfield eligible. So some nice value there with Mr. Danny Santana. Second base position, you got Marcus Semien. He's taken Kluber deep a couple times in his career. He's just on fire, 54. Sign me up in that one. Brandon Lau at 51 versus Keller. Love a good Tampa Bay stack tonight. So Lau's in play. Ozzie Albies at 5,000 in that Boston-Atlanta game stack we talked about. So you can go that direction as well. If you want to fade Musgrove, we talked about it on the chat on the podcast yesterday. If Snell was popular, whoever's popular, you want to leverage stack. Snell was popular. Milwaukee leverage stack gave some nice tournament outcomes in the Slack chat. Similar tonight, I could see Musgrove being popular. I could see Giolito being popular. I could see Gossman being popular. Not really in on the Arizona stack. I could see a St. Louis stack for sure. But I love the idea, again, of a Milwaukee stack if you want to fade Musgrove if he's chalky. And Colton Wong at 47 can be a good piece of that. So keep that in mind when you check the ownership as the day goes on. Nick Solak's 43 versus Heaney. If you're stacking Texas, he's in play. But like Gavin Lux, only 3,700 versus Greinke is a really strong value in that matchup. Mentioned Ty France at 34 earlier. Other than that, nothing too major at this point. Oh, no, there is one. I forgot. My bad. Let me get him for you. Let me pull him up here. Taylor Walls of the Tampa Bay Rays is $2,200. Cheap. He's second base shortstop eligible. He's put up 10, 5, and 12 in his first 3 games. Very, very cheap. Good for cash. Good for stacks. Good for whatever you want to punt with. Second base shortstop eligible. We like the Tampa Bay stack tonight. He could be a part of a wraparound stack if you so choose. So Taylor Walls, 22. Very nice value. Third base, you got J-Ram at 57. He's pretty much always in play. Bregman at 52 if you're fading Kershaw. But I love Rafael Devers at 5,000. Very good price point versus Charlie Morton in that matchup. Matt Chapman just can't get it going. That's very, very frustrating. Like Kyle Seager hits lefties fine. He's 45 in a tournament. We talk about him pretty much every night on tournament plays. Justin Turner's had phenomenal career numbers versus Greinke. He just can't hit the ball right now. So he's 43 if you want to hope he finds fire against a guy he knows well. Joey Wendell, third base shortstop, a part of the Tampa stack at 42. He's even cash game viable at Keller. But Austin Riley's only 4,000 still. That's just dumb. The dude is hitting everything. He's hitting 444 over his last 10 games with 6 home runs, 4 doubles. He has 10 extra base hits. He's averaging 15.4 DK points per game. Austin Riley's hitting everything, and he's down to 4K against Richards. That is a stupid price. So play all the Austin Riley you want. That's just crazy talk. Johnny VR at 36 leading off for the Mets versus Freeland. He's got a little decent history against Freeland, so keep that one on the table as well. Shortstop position for you. Tatis is always tournament play with 6,600 for Burns. I think it's going to be a pass for me, but you can do as you wish. Bo Bichette at 56, though he's got 1 career homer against Kluber. Keep an eye on that one. Bogart's at 54 as well. But you can also save some cash. There's a couple nice values at the shortstop spot if you're not going up like Bichette and company. Brandon Crawford's only 41 versus Martin. Crawford's hitting everything right now, so keep him on your radar. Jose Iglesias at 4K, but I love the value of Gleyber Torres versus Steven Matz at $3,700. Torres is raking it right now since he's come back from the COVID IL. It's 2, 4, 5 game hitting streak. He's hitting all 5 games since his return from the IL. He's got multi-hit games in 4 of 5. He's put up 13 or more DK points in 4 of 5 games. So all the multiple hit games, 13 or more DK points. Gets a phenomenal matchup against Steven Matz. He's hitting 5th, sometimes 6th in that Yankees order. So Gleyber Torres at 37. Enjoy the savings while you can. Mentioned Gavin Lux already at 37. He's definitely in play as well, but that Gleyber Torres price at 37, damn good. Chad Pinder, he was second base outfield yesterday. He's shortstop outfield today. He's 3K versus Gilbert, so that's another nice savings. And then Mauricio Dubon, swinging a really good bat, second base shortstop at 2,600 for the Gigantes. You can use him if you need to in a giant stack. Not running to use him. Like if you're looking for value at the position, I'd rather just go all the way down to Taylor Walls. But Dubon's there if you want to go massive Giants outlook for you. All right, the outfield position is ridiculously loaded in this game. Ridiculously loaded on this slate, I mean. You got Acuna always in play. You got Juan Soto versus Molly, sure, but I'd rather have Acuna. I'll be clear there at 61. But good. Yastrzemski in a giant stack at 57. Yes. Aaron Judge versus Matz at 55 is outstanding. Rosarena stole another bag and had another big game on Monday. He's 55. He is hitting everything right now. So these are all great plays, probably part of stacks more than one-offs. That's what I say when you get these really expensive guys. Differentiating between the two, we could eventually get there if you want, but it's just a lot easier to say stacks or just pick your one-off. They're all pretty good plays. Jesse Winker, tournament only, one-off against Scherzer. He's hitting all the home runs. He's $5,400, and so that's expensive. Yelich might be heating up. He's 53 versus Musgrove. Would definitely be a nice piece of a Musgrove fade if you're going that direction. Love Austin Meadows at 49. I feel like he's going deep on Tuesday versus Brad Keller. So Meadows at 49 is on the table for you. Mitch Haniger at 49 versus Irvin. That's not a bad value, sneaky play there. Schwarber at 48 I like as well. Prefer Schwarber over Haniger, but I think Haniger goes virtually unowned, so keep him in mind. If you're stacking Atlanta, most are forgetting about Marcell Ozuna because he's having a down season compared to the rest. He's intriguing at 4,700. But like Teoscar Hernandez, only 46. Love that value against Kluber. Kana at 46. He went deep on Mondays. You can go back to that well if you so choose. Grichuk at 43 is another nice value versus Kluber. Just keep attacking this boy. We will have some fun in that one. I mentioned Kirilloff at 4K. You can go there. Kalinick went deep again on Tuesday. It's the second, or Monday is the second of the season. A few others here. There's a lot. Like you can make a lot of arguments on this slate. Like Steven Duggar's 36 if he cracks the Giants lineup. That's interesting value if you want it. But we're getting to some really good value here in just a second as we slide down a little farther. Kyle Lewis went deep on Monday. He's 35, only in a tournament. But Adolis Garcia, he only crushed all weekend long. And his price tag dropped to $3,400. I don't get it at all. Makes no sense. You got Andrew Heaney. So Garcia at 34 is probably one of the best value bats on this entire slate. Manny Margot is heating up. I wrote about him in my waiver wire column recently at RotoBaller.com for the outfield. Margot at 33 is a really, really good look for you there too. Akil Baddoo is slowly heating up. So if you're fading Savali at 32, he could be a value. Taylor Ward's a nice value at 32 versus Yang, the lefty Yang. Not my favorite values. I still prefer Adolis Garcia at this point in time, but they're not bad if you're looking to mix and match it here. But I got even more values coming up for you when you get to 3K and below. Gurriel Jr.'s 3K. He went deep on Monday. Could be a sneaky play. Anthony Santander, our boy, a couple doubles, got us a nice 14 or so points. He's only 3K again. I'll go back to that well as long as he's that cheap. We mentioned Pender at 3K, but Santander, as long as he stays cheap, he's pretty much in the lineup, or at least an option almost every single day. DJ Stewart went deep on Monday. If you're looking to get weird in a tournament, you can at 28. Brett Phillips is playing actually really well for the Rays. He's 27. Not a guy I usually play, but if you need to. But back to Minnesota. We mentioned Sano. We mentioned Kirilloff, 4,300, 4K respectively. Trevor Larnach is $2,700. He went deep again on Monday, and he's slowly heating up. But that home run he hit, check the video, folks. Off a lefty, which people told me, he doesn't get to play versus lefties. Well, he started first lefty. He went to dead center, 461 feet. It was an absolute bomb. So some people need to go check that out. It was outstanding. It was great stuff. I mentioned Danny Santana at 26. He's worth the look. Other than that, though, check your lines. There's Kiermaier, there's Mazzara. There's all these tournament values. If you need them, Andrew Vaughn went deep against a lefty. Probably won't play him against Jack Flaherty, but keep him in mind like we usually do. Andrew Stevens is $2,300 versus Molly. If he's leading off, there's a little value for you. Ref Snyder, we talked about him before. He's $2,300. He did a little damage for you on Monday night. So he's very, very cheap. So there's options here as you'd expect, especially when we see lineups come out. So wait for that, see what happens. Recapping your pitching on this slate, you got DeGrom and Scherzer up top if you want to go there. Sure. I'm not going there. I'm going to save some cash, but you can definitely go there. Musgrove's intriguing. I think there's even better savings. You got Burns at 91. You got Gio at 87, which I absolutely love. You got Savali at 83. And then you got Kershaw at 8K. Very good tournament play. And Gossman at 72. So Musgrove's still there, but you have the other five. Burns, Gio, Savali, Kershaw, Gossman. Gossman's my favorite price per dollar. Then you got Gio and Burns really close behind him. So after just three, I want Gio, Burns, and Gossman. Those three, not in that order. So in the order I want will be Gossman, Gio, Burns, based on price. So those are the big three I want, but there's obviously arguments for many more on this slate. If we're stacking things up, New York's a very good stack versus Mats, but I love the Toronto side there to be contrarian against Corey Kluber. Atlanta, Boston, game stack it up. Tampa Bay, big fan of that one versus Brad Keller. I'm going to try to stay away from Milwaukee, but if Musgrove's looking chalky, we are there. I'm trying to stay away from my Baltimore stack on a slate this size, but I'm very intrigued because Barrios has been slipping. So keep an eye on those two. Dodgers versus Greinke, like that one quite a bit. And then Gigantes versus Arizona for the late night hammer. Big fan of that stack as well. Metal Alloy, thanks for joining us in the chat. I appreciate the kind words. That was awfully nice of you. So yes, I am live streaming these on the RotoBaller YouTube channel. You can catch them later on replay anytime you want. So go subscribe, like, and share there. The thumbs up goes a long way to help out with that. Also, if you just listen to the podcast, give a rate and review on iTunes, 5-star preferably, would help me out as well. It's kind of how the currency and spreading the word takes place there. I write on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I write the free DraftKings article on rotoballer.com. So come check that out. Get all the goodies there. And if you'd like to join the premium package, use promo code Bubba to get an extra discount the rest of the MLB season, DFS and season long, all combined, all the tools, all the good stuff. It's down to $69 for the rest of the baseball season. So use promo code Bubba to get a discount off the $69. All the good stuff there. But with that being said, everybody have a good Tuesday. 13 games. It's a doozy. But if you have any questions, again, hit me up on Twitter at BDentric. This was MLB DFS Quick Hits, your Tuesday, May 25th edition. I'm out.